Hey, what's going on? This is Cody from Cody Buys Houses. I'm calling about your property on, hello? Hello? God, if there was only a way I knew how to powerfully talk to motivated sellers so they didn't hang up on me. All right, so in today's training, I want to talk about how to talk to a motivated seller so that way you can get a wholesale deal done quickly. All right, this is going to be a step-by-step training. So if you're new to real estate investing or if you aren't confident yet on the phones, this is going to be the perfect conversation for you. And at the end of this conversation, I'm going to hook you up with some free resources, some phone scripts, and some other cool stuff. That way you can be empowered to have these conversations. All right, so if you get something from this, smash the like button, engage with me, drop a comment down below, and then, hopefully I can help you out so we can go make a lot of money as real estate investors. With that said, let me set this up. So when I was brand new, I was really scared to talk on the phone with people. The reason was because I couldn't anticipate where to take the conversations. Imagine being brand new. You're told to make phone calls. If you're part of my mentoring program, I'm telling you, make calls. If you watch my YouTube videos, make calls. If you go to a re-event, what are you guys doing? We're cold calling. We're making calls. But then you get home and you're sitting there and you're alone and you're freaking out because you got to make calls. You know that that's how you make money in this business, but you're scared to do it because you don't know how to anticipate where to take those conversations. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to distill down something that can feel overwhelming and complicated and make this really simple for you. At its core, there's only 4 things that you want to accomplish on your first phone call. Just 4. If you could do these 4 things, then you're going to set yourself up for success for the second or third or fourth or fifth phone call. And I don't rarely, like maybe once or twice a year, do a 1-call close. Like I might get 1 lead from a postcard or from a pay-per-click ad or from social or something, 1, maybe 2 per year, where they literally call and say, last night was the worst night ever. All my money is trapped in my house. I'm freaking out. I have to sell. And I go, okay, no problem. Don't worry. I got you. Well, what do you think your house, and I say, give me the address. And they give me the address and I look it up on Zillow and Zillow says, Zestimate. $200K. And I go, well, what do you think you want for the house? Well, I want $75K or I want $100K. And I'm like, damn, I don't even got to negotiate. So the only thing I got to do is, hey, I'm going to hang up with you. I'm coming over to your house. I got my purchase and sale agreement with me. Like literally, don't answer your phone. Don't talk to anybody else. I'll be right there. But that's so rare. Most of the time, I have to have multiple conversations with somebody. I got to chase them around. I got to, literally hustle to be able to get to the appointment stage or get to the place where I'm ready to make an offer. So let's boil this down to 4 simple things that I want to accomplish on this first call to set me up for success. First off, and write this down. There's 4 things that you want to accomplish. Number 1 is why are they selling? You have to understand what the seller's motivation is. There's a million questions that you can ask in order to figure out why they want to sell. And it can be as simple as, what's happening in your life to make you want to sell your house? Why do you want to sell? And as you ask the question and they give you the information, expand it. Tell me more about that. Ooh, that doesn't sound good, right? I agitate the pain. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. Okay, so you want to sell because of this, this, and this. Well, how did that situation happen? Empathize with them. Take whatever last piece of information they gave you and ask another question based on that and keep them talking. So, why do you want to sell? Super important. The second thing we want to understand on this conversation is information about the property. We need to know everything we can about the property. And here's the good news. You don't have to be scared to ask property questions, right? Everybody wants to talk about their property and approach it in a cool way. Ask them, hey, listen, I know I haven't been able to come over to your house and meet you face to face and see the property yet, but if you were to, walk me around the property, tell me one or two things that you absolutely love about it. Allow them to sell you a little bit. Before you just go right for the jugular and try to, start beating them up because their property is old and ugly and outdated and needs work, ask them to sell you on it. Tell me about when you made that repair 2-3 years ago, or you replaced the roof 3 years ago. Allow them to tell you the good things. If they get that out of their system, they're going to be more open to tell you some of the negative things. All right, so tell me about the property. Walk me through. What's the kitchen look like? When's the last time you replaced the cabinets? When's the last time you updated? What's the year of the property? How many beds and baths? Do you know the size? All right. It's okay to look their house up on Zillow, Google Maps or Zillow, just to get a quick Zestimate or just to get a quick aerial. But you should be in this conversation like this. You should not be like this too much. Because if you're geeking out on the computer, you're not listening. It's okay to get that aerial view just to see what you're dealing with. And sometimes I instantly see power lines or a canal, or that it's in the middle of a neighborhood right next to a cute little park, or it's on a main road, or it's next to the freeway. That gives me some information so I can ask more questions. But I ask questions about the property. That's the second thing you want to get on this conversation. The third thing is, how fast do they want their money? We need to understand urgency. So why property urgency? What is it, or how fast do you want your cash? Is this something that you can afford to wait 30, 60, 90, 120 days? Or is it something that you want your cash within the next 2 weeks? If they say 2 weeks, then you say, well, tell me a little bit more about that. What do you plan on doing with the money? Then they're going to tell you about that. Then you can elaborate on that. Okay, so if you get the cash that you need, you're going to be able to help your aunt out that raised you. Oh, that's really awesome. I used to travel back east and visit my aunt all the time. She was my favorite aunt, and I would do anything for her. So being able to ask these kind of questions and pull this information out of the seller is going to give you lots of ammunition. So in phone calls 2, 3, 4, and 5, you're going to be prepared to begin an actual real negotiation. The biggest mistake I see new real estate investors making all the time, and I see this happen time and time again, is that they start talking and negotiating price. Because think about the seller and think about you. What's the one thing the seller wants to accomplish? What's the one thing the seller's fixated on? What's the one thing the seller wants to make sure that they focus on? Price. What's the one thing that you should avoid at all costs during this first phone call? Negotiating price. Why do you think that is? It's not because we shouldn't eventually negotiate price. It's because you haven't built enough rapport with them yet. And I'm telling you right now, they're going to put their arm up if you start battling with them, because you cannot make the seller wrong before you build a relationship with them. In fact, you should never make the seller wrong. All right? That's not your job. Your job is to ask what and how questions. Your job is to stay in control of the pace, the tempo, the tonality, and the flow of the conversation. Your job is to give the seller perceived control. Think about that for a second. If the seller is asking all the questions, if the seller is just focusing you right over to price and you're reacting to that and you can't get away from that, who's in control? They are, right? The seller is. But if you're asking the what and how questions, what's happening in your life to make you want to sell your house here today? Why haven't you tried selling to a real estate agent? How fast would you like your cash? Is this something you can afford to wait 30, 60, 90 days, or would you like it in the next 2 weeks? Where do you plan on moving once you get your cash? How committed are you to getting this done quickly? Oh, that's a good one. How committed are you to getting this thing done quickly? How would you like me to proceed? What are our next steps? If you had a magic wand, what would the perfect deal look like? Ooh, here's a good one. Ready? Have you had any written offers on your property yet? Why not? Why didn't you accept it? If you're empowered by preparing yourself, practicing your script, and coming to these conversations prepared, your chances of getting a deal is going to go up significantly. Because I'm telling you, when you're new and your anxiety is there and somebody hits you with some objections or they're trying to negotiate price right out of the gates, you will naturally, it happens to the best of us, you will naturally fall to your highest level of preparation. So if you didn't practice your scripts, if you don't have your what and how questions printed out, if you haven't looked in the mirror and read your script a million times until you memorized it, when shit goes sideways, you're going to go sideways and you can't control it. And I'm telling you right now, when I first started, things started going sideways and I would spaz out and I would hang up on them. I'd be like, what? Oh, bad connection. Boop. And then I would pace back and forth pulling my hair out. That's why I'm going bald. Because I was like, damn, I screwed that all up. They're never going to want to do a deal with me. So how fast do you want your money? And the fourth thing is, how much do you need? How much do you need in order to feel comfortable okaying agreement here today? 4 things on this first phone call. Yes, you want to build rapport. Yes, you want to set an appointment to view the property if you can. Yes, you want to set up your higher authority, which gives you negotiation power. But really, keep it simple. 4 things. If you can do this, then you're in the game. And at the end of the day, it's just a numbers game. Who's going to make the most phone calls? There's no shortage of people to call. Zillow, Craigslist, for rent by owner, other real estate agents, other local wholesalers, farming an area, calling every homeowner in that particular area, calling lead list, the same list that you would direct mail to, probates, pre-foreclosures, absentee owner, high equity, owner occupied, high equity, out of state, vacant, zombie foreclosures. There's no freaking shortage. So stop making excuses and get in the game. Make the calls, write the offers. You do those 2 things, and that's the fastest path to getting to a wholesale deal as quickly as possible. And I'm telling you, we're not selling cool fancy t-shirts here, ladies and gentlemen. All right? We're not making $1 a rip. We're talking $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. We just did a deal the other day, $28,000 wholesale deal. A freaking $28K assignment. Woo-hoo! You know how good it feels when you get that check for 28 G's? When it only took a few hours worth of work? We got another wholesale deal where we're going to make 18 G's. It's a lot of money. So you don't need a lot of deals to make a lot of money in this business. But you do need some skills in order to get to some deals. Now you know. All right? So I told you I'd give you a free resource. Here's what we're going to do. Down in the comment section down below, I'm going to give away some of my real estate scripts. All right? These are the scripts that I use when I'm talking to sellers. So if you want my real estate scripts, put a comment down below, hook me up with your scripts, and I'm gonna hook you up with them, okay? Probably gonna pin a link to some training. Right now, I'm really pushing hard on my 30-day deal challenge. This is basically taking all my knowledge, all my team's knowledge, and boiling it into a fun little 30-day challenge where we show you step-by-step exactly what to do every single day of the week for 30 days. And at the end of it, hopefully you got some real estate deals in escrow or under contract or maybe even closed. So you're gonna look at the pinned comments down below and click that link. Go watch the free training video. It's gonna show you how to get started. And yeah, I'm hooking you up. So you want the scripts? Tell me. down in the comment section. Tell me, hook me up. Give me the scripts. Give me the scripts. And that's all I got for you here today. Till next time, I'm Cody Sperber, the Clever Investor. I deserve some freaking likes, so smash that like button. And until I come back, I'll be out here making calls just like you guys. Till then, take care, comb your hair, Spurbs out.